Good morning.
Hey.
It is the Saturday show. Here we are on Going On Daily. It is episode 123, so that's crazy
All right. We're
already.
moving right along.
That'll tell you how many episodes we do in a year because we're just about halfway through the year, which is also very shocking. Time's
Yeah, because
flying.
it's like once June and July hit, the rest of the year is gone. So
Yeah,
we're moving. We're
it's
moving
like
very quickly.
if somebody could hit the brakes a little, that would be nice.
It would be awesome, but I feel like it's only going to get quicker. I'm
I
just
know.
sorry.
I know it is because it always does because, you know,
Yeah,
wisdom of history. However,
that,
it's still shocking.
that's
But
it.
yeah, we do a lot of episodes in a year, so we're cranking out quite a bit. But I'm glad that we're here today. This is the last
Yeah.
time this is the second time we're together.
This is the second time, correct? This is our second time.
Definitely,
We're holding the Saturdays down, and
definitely.
I feel a little pressure because Mikey D was like, "This the Saturday show was gonna be off the chain." I'm like, like pressure,
Stop.
So
Well, we're
I'm
just
like,
gonna have to
oh,
make it
oh,
off the chain. So I'm laying up for those listening,
right.
and this is Lilac here with me this morning. I gotta thank everybody of that we need to do to get our show together. We gotta get some things out. So thanking WDJY, and we're on that show Wednesday 9 to 10 p.m., Sunday 1 to 3, right? And then thank you to Face Fitness. Oh, I cannot talk today. Thank you to Mace Fitness for supporting Going On Daily.
Yes, I'm so grateful.
We got to make sure we got to pay our bills.
Hello. I love when the radio said like, oh, gotta go pay bills. So we thank you to our
I know.
sponsors. We wouldn't be here without you.
It's an old habit of mine. Oops, gotta pay some
Right.
bills.
Right.
But yeah, so we're ready to give you guys some information this morning. Lilac's got some information for us on the history of the wedding flower bouquet,
Yes.
which is
Okay. So I
interesting.
I know, right? So I love that the theme for this week was, flowers.
Hmm.
So I don't know what I was watching. I watched so many documentaries. I don't know, or I just saw it maybe on Facebook or Instagram, but it was legit. And they were saying that one history of the wedding bouquet was to hide body odor.
Yep.
So
Okay.
back, and which makes sense.
I
Back when it
think
was
I've heard that.
created, yeah, back when it was created, baths, in certain regions of the world weren't very frequent. Just scarcity of
Right.
water or just learning about hygiene and things like that. So people would be getting married, and you didn't take your bath, so of course your body's gonna have an odor.
Yep.
So the bouquets would be full of just these wonderful smelling flowers that would hide the odor. And so that's why it was held right in front, right in front of the
Yep.
bride. And you would hide the odor in that way. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting.
It
But
is.
another history of it is like in ancient Greece, some of the garlands and some of the bouquets would be filled with things that they said caused like good luck and brought like good
Oh
charm
yeah.
and all that. So you
Yep.
wanted to enter into the marriage with good luck. It was like strong smelling herbs. I'm just looking at my notes. It was like strong smelling herbs. You would have certain grains, certain flowers, and it would be to bring luck, into what you were doing, into the marriage. And then I saw that it was superstitious also in like so in the Elizabethan era. It was superstitious, so you had to have it. It was like if you didn't have it, it was like bad luck. But
Yep.
also, that's where the bouquet would be thrown because
Okay.
it was like the bride had good luck on her. So whoever she threw it to, like you caught it, that means you were getting married to. So
Humans
that's
are
where those
so funny.
traditions.
We still have
Yeah,
some of
but
those.
we
It feels
this
like,
it's still very around. Happy that we don't have the body odor one
Oh yeah,
anymore.
yeah. No, I mean like,
Great,
but our
grateful,
superstitions
but
and those little like the little myths and stuff that we
yeah.
have, we still keep those.
Hmm.
So you know.
Yeah, even throwing the bouquet,
Yep.
I've seen some cute ones. It's a tangent, but not. It's still around the same thing. I've seen some cute videos like someone would have already like pre-planned to do
Hmm.
this. So whoever catches the bouquet, like their significant other would be proposing. They would turn around and they'd be proposed to right there.
So how
Like
do you
I'm
feel
like,
about
oh,
that? Do you feel like that might be taken away from the bride's day? I mean, I don't.
absolutely,
Yeah,
one
just
hundred
wondering.
percent.
I guess it depends.
Don't do.
If the
Yeah,
bride knows it and she's okay with it, then I guess it's fine. You know?
b- but the reality is this:
Mhm.
you're not going to say no to someone if they ask, "Can I propose at your wedding?" I, I don't. Well, I don't
I
know
don't know.
many.
I have seen. Listen, I have done hundreds of weddings as a DJ, and I have seen some brides say no to us. They're not. They
Oh,
don't play.
okay,
Now I'm
okay,
not saying it depends on how close friends the person is, or it definitely depends on the relationship. But I have seen brides have absolutely no problem with saying no to things. Like
oh, okay. See,
yeah,
what I
yeah,
saw was, I just thought it would be kind of awkward. Like, do you say no, or does it look like, you're raining on someone else's parade? That's how I always think. And I'm a recovering people pleaser, so I'd
yeah.
probably be like, yeah, sure, do it. Even though inside I probably wouldn't be very happy. So I agree. I'm right there with you. Yeah,
Look up the
don't
term
propose at my.
bridezilla, and you'll see what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
And if you've seen these bridal shows over the years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brides are very demanding. They're usually it's not a bad thing. They're not terrible people, but they're usually very stressed out because just to be fair, brides usually
Yeah,
do most of the scheduling, the
it's pressure.
ordering,
The
the paying for
decorations.
vendors, all that kind of stuff
Yep.
typically falls on
Mm-hmm.
the bride.
Yep.
And the groom just kind of shows up, but that's a whole nother story. So
That it's
they're a little
true.
bit stressed by that time, and so most brides will say, "It's my day. It's my day, and I want what I want, and so whatever."
Correct.
So it's
And you're gonna give me
possible.
what I want.
Yeah, it's
And no, it
possible.
is. It is. It is. I wouldn't necessarily want
Hmm.
to be proposed to at someone else's wedding. Although I get the sentiment, right? Someone's getting
Right.
married, then it's like you're just continuing that on. Just save it for the next day, save it for another
Right.
time. Don't just have the focus, because it does share the spotlight. I just saw someone, post that comment. It
Yeah,
takes away the spotlight. It's not
it does.
intentional, but it takes the wedding is the main focus, and that's
It should
it.
be. I mean,
It
again,
should be.
it all depends on the people involved. So I wouldn't say that every single bride wants to be the star of the show. That's not necessarily
Right.
always the way it is,
Right.
but that's kind of it. That's going to be most brides. You know what I mean? They're going to be like, "Look,
Most brides.
I'm this much money in, and I have this many people coming, and all that kind of stuff.
Correct.
I've been
Correct.
wanting this since I, was 3, if you're a
Since I've
Disney
been watching
watcher."
Disney movies,
Yeah,
because Disney movies, they put it in our head. We have to have the Prince Charming. We have to be the bride. So it's
exactly.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
so
you
that's the
it,
thing. So you wanna for
yeah.
that particular day, that bride, that's what she wants, and so I'm not like I said, it depends on how close. If somebody's been friends with somebody for, like, 30 years, and they've been the best of friends, then they would hash it out amongst themselves, but it would
Correct.
also I be a little bit of a push to ask a question like that. It's a little bit uncouth to even say that to a friend who's a bride, so that's both people would
Number
be
one, the word uncouth is probably one of my favorite words. My grandmother, she's from Houston by way of New Orleans. It's a word she always uses. It wraps up the sentiment. It's uncouth. You know what I
yes,
mean? It's uncouth. No bratupsi. It's uncouth. So I love it. But yeah. So, but those who ask, that's what I was saying before. If
right.
someone asks, I don't know if I could just be like, no, I'm all set. Like, I'll pass.
Yeah.
But I
That's
just,
yeah. That's yes. Work on your people pleasing because that's
yeah,
definitely
and I am.
if
I'm
it's not
recovering.
something you want,
It's
if
not
it's not
something I
something you,
want.
then you would be like, listen, it's my day. Sorry, but
Yeah.
I love you. We're best
So
friends, but
exactly.
I really don't. This would bother me. This. Can I just get through my day? And then I'm all about you. There's ways to
I'm
say
all about
things.
you. Even let's do it the next day. I'll even stick around. I'll even delay my honeymoon a little bit. Not a lot, but just like I won't leave right away so that I could
Right.
see your engagement. Like I think that's a good trade-off. And now I would be like,
Hmm.
yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. But I would
Right.
hope that someone wouldn't ask. I think that's the main
That's
thing.
the
I hope
thing.
you just don't ask, because
You
it's
know what
just
I mean?
not like I've seen the videos and yeah, it looks cute, but then I'm like, I'm watching the bride off to the side, and all the attention and the focus is now on the newly engaged couple. And it's like,
Right.
you'd have to pay me for that. I want to say that. Like, I paid for this
Right.
venue. If you pay me for a cut of this attention, if you pay me for a cut of this time,
Yeah.
have
And
at
now
it. But
between
you
friends, you know what
know,
I mean? What's going to be
yeah,
the thing that you want to do? Do you want to deal with that kind of thing? Which
exactly.
my TV is possessed, I think.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
Okay, so sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, but it's just a reality. Now, the last part I saw was that I think it was the Victorian era.
Hmm.
The bouquet was carefully selected to mean certain things. Like, it was seen as an extension of the vow.
Okay.
So if there was baby's breath, if there, roses, it was seen as these flowers are symbolic,
Right.
and we'll keep the bouquet, preserve it, and it's an extension of our vow. It's an extension of the love that we have for each other, or the commitment,
Right.
which tied back to, I think it was Mikey D and JJ show. They were saying about the different meanings of the flowers. So I started
Right.
thinking about that, like what some those flowers that have those certain meanings. Then I'm like, oh, okay, you put that in the bouquet, and
Yep.
your significant other would know, like, I'm hearing your vows, but I'm also seeing them in the bouquet. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Shout out to the significant others who actually would catch a thing like that. I don't know, most
Shout
men would not have
shout
any
out.
idea what they were looking at.
But
But back in Greek history, they
the
probably
Victorian era,
or
different
Victorian
time.
era, yeah, they
It
probably
was a
were
different
at
time.
least brushed up on the whole thing before they walked out there.
Correct.
These days,
Nowadays, no.
it would be
Yeah.
a detail that would be missed like by a mile, but
Big
that's okay.
time. Big time. It was a
Yeah,
different time back then. You
yeah, it
paid
does. It
attention, you looked at
was.
certain stuff.
It
Men,
definitely
men, I
was.
don't feel really care about that right now. They wouldn't be like, oh, let me look down at these
I
flowers
mean, I
and
don't know that. To be honest with you, like maybe there. I'm sure there are men who would care, but I think that they would have to
sure.
be. If somebody would have to pull them aside. That's all. You know what I mean? And say,
Yeah,
hey, by the way, this is something you might need to know, just
sure.
because it wouldn't be something they would think of. But
They would readily know.
you know,
True, unless they're a florist. Maybe they're a florist,
yeah,
and so they would be like, oh, maybe I already know. But other than that, you'd have to put up a slide, or like
yeah,
say
yeah,
it in
yeah,
your vows. Put up a slideshow, say it in your vows. Like, I chose this bouquet because I chose this flower. Which
yeah.
could be cute too.
I say this only because I have probably the personality of a guy most of the time. It's not that you don't care; it's how you care. It's
I
how you
like it.
present or
Reframe.
express how you care.
Yes,
You know what I mean? So,
yes,
whereas most people would think that somebody who cared would be interested in details on flowers, it might just
yep,
not be their particular language,
absolutely,
to speak. But if somebody
absolutely.
says to them, hey, your person that you're marrying would be really excited if you were to learn this, this, and this,
Hmm.
most of them would be, oh, okay, no problem. So,
Right, right.
you know,
I like that. It's not that you
yeah.
don't care, it's how you care. I like that
Oh,
reframing. I'm actually,
absolutely.
yeah. No, it's perspective shift. I love that. And we
Yep.
can't care about every single thing. It's just not a reality. We have our specialties,
Oh,
we have our
no.
interests. And if you let someone know, then that lets them know to care about that, or at least be aware of it. I love that.
Communicate,
Yeah.
people. Communicate.
That's the moral of this
Don't
story.
expect everybody to
Communicate.
do what you want them to do the way that you do it. Want them to do it. You
Don't
have to say,
assume.
"I would like
Hmm.
this thing, please," and they don't know unless you ask sometimes. But anyway, yeah,
Yeah. You mean like not expecting everyone to be a mind reader, because I feel
absolutely.
like that's what we do too. Speaking of marriage,
Anybody who
that's what we
knows
do. Like,
me is
you should have
crazy. Knows I'm
known
crazy about people that expect you to know everything like a
me.
telepathy.
Yeah.
No, you have to tell people what you want. You can't get mad because people don't give you what you want if you don't tell them what you want. It's very
Very,
simple.
very
Yeah.
Jean Grey, very
Yeah.
X-Men, very,
Right,
very,
right. I mean, so, it's
yep.
okay if you don't wanna tell people, but you cannot then throw a fit. That's all I'm
Don't be
saying.
mad.
That's all I'm
Correct.
saying. So,
Correct. Throwing
I
a
know.
fit, throwing a bouquet. So yeah, that's what I have. That's a history. I thought it was very interesting,
It
especially,
is.
yeah, I'm like, okay, it was
So
used
now
for
I'm
different
gonna go
purposes.
look too to see, like, what each flower signifies. Like, that's kinda cool. Like, that's interesting to me. It's a little rabbit hole I can go down,
That's what I was thinking. I'm like,
you
I
know?
know you like to research, so I
I
knew,
do.
like, if I just dropped a few crumbs, I knew you
Oh,
were
yeah.
gonna.
That's it.
So I
You
can't
just,
wait
like
to
now
hear.
my whole day is gone. Thanks a lot.
Great,
That's all.
awesome.
You
Please
know?
report back. Report back.
I will report back. I'll be dropping it in the chat.
I love it.
So I'm hearing that we have some social media that we have to talk about here. So
Yes, we do.
let's get into that.
Watch us live at YouTube, Rumble, and Twitch at Rhode Island Broadcasting, X and Twitter at Broadcasting RI, Facebook at Going On Daily Morning Show. Listen to us on all of our audio platforms such as Spotify, Red Circle, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music at RI Broadcasting. You can also follow us on all of our socials at MeWe, TikTok, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Gab, Parler, and Space Hey at RI Broadcasting, and Reddit at RI-Broadcasting, and support the show on Rhode-IslandBroadcasting.net. We thank you for listening, following, and watching.
Wow, that was very
Fancy.
You know, we're coming up in the world. You know, we have the production skills of professionals,
Hey,
and there's no expense spared. Apparently,
no expense spared. We
I
might as
mean,
well use all the tools that are available. That was very snazzy. Love it.
yeah, it was. It was. I used to have a guy that I work for. I've been a DJ for years, so I would be working in a club, and there was a particular song, and one of the guys that I work for used to say, can you play that song? It's really punchy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a punchy tune."
Yeah.
And I was like, that's an interesting word. So I always think of that. Punchy.
It fits. That
Yep.
was great. Yeah. Follow us
That was
everywhere.
pretty good. So yeah, that's
Everywhere you
everything.
saw, follow us.
Yeah, if you look for the most part on our website, and that's the RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net, that's everything that you just saw is all there, right? So in case you missed anything, that's where everything you need to know is.
Yep.
The one thing that is also there is our QR code, and it's voting for the Hall of Fame. And this is the best 80s movie this particular month, right? You want to vote for your best movie. Now, I don't know. I know Back to the Future came out strong in the beginning, very strong. And I still, these are all really good movies. And so this is not an easy vote. I understand that. That.
No,
So
I'm sad.
Take a moment.
I'm sad about Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'll be honest. You know, that's what I'm always.
Yeah.
Wow, 74%. Back to the Future, 74%. Yeah. So people are. It was a good movie. It's undeniable. It was a great movie.
It was. I mean,
I'm not mad.
I'm going to be the biggest fan of Back to the Future and Michael J. Fox because, like, that's my life. I absolutely, as a kid,
that time.
That was one of my favorite movies ever, and Michael J. Fox is a national treasure. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah,
and still is.
It's tough because I think all of these movies, in my opinion, for whatever reason, depending on your mood, are all amazing. So, good luck with voting on that.
Yeah, and we have a record number of voting, so it's like people are really logging, clicking on the QR code or scanning it, and awesome. That's great.
So hold your phone up, get that QR code. It'll take you straight to the voting and vote for your favorite. I believe you can vote for more than one, and I believe you can vote more than once.
I know you can do more than once. I don't know about more than one at a time.
I'm not sure.
I think it's just one. Yeah, I think you can just choose one at a time, but you can do it multiple times. I think there's a time frame. Like I tried to scan it. I did try that. Like I tried to scan it back to back, and it was like, oh, you already voted. So maybe it's like once a day or so, the time frame, but you can do it multiple times for sure.
Okay. That's good. Well, that's good. We want you on the website as much as possible. So
that's right.
Oh my goodness. So if you were a Gen X female at any point in the 80s, and you were a reader, then you were probably carrying around a copy of Flowers in the Attic. So, and it's funny because somebody said to me, what made us such dark characters? Why do we have the sense of humor we have? Why did we have the kind of the way that we see things as far as like the Gen X generation, especially the girls? And our answer is like VC Andrews. VC Andrews. Now, I personally am a genre that my genre is horror anyway, and suspense.
Okay,
and that kind
that's your
of stuff.
fave.
So
Mhm.
to be honest with you, this is while this was a good book, I was reading this kind of thing anyway. I think for a lot of my friends though, this was the first delve into like kind of a gothic tale,
Okay, yeah.
and a lot of them I guess took to it and then started reading this particular book is the beginning of a series. And so it started with that, and then it developed into the following books. So let's talk about VC Andrews. So this is Virginia Cleo Andrews. She was born on June 6, 1923 in Portsmouth, Virginia. She went to she later attended high school. She studied art. She was crippled by rheumatoid arthritis as a young woman. And she had to use crutches and later a wheelchair. So she was never right. She never left her home. She lived with her mother. She never got married. But she wrote a gothic horror novel called Flowers in the Attic in 1979. And it's the first book in the Dollenganger. It's actually Dollenganger is the name of like the family involved in the series, right?
Mhm.
It explores dark themes of greed, child cruelty, incest, and isolation, which is for when you think about it, for Gen X children, in 1980 we were like 12 or 11 or like this
Right.
is the kind of stuff we were reading very young. And we were also the generation of, no, we weren't being supervised at all, right? So,
Kids. Yes.
so our parents, you're breaking up a little bit, so I'm gonna talk. Your internet might be a little funky there, but I think our parents were like, as long as we were reading and occupied and not bothering them, then they didn't bother us. And so I don't know that they looked too much at what we were reading sometimes and the kind of stuff that we were looking at or whatever. I don't. So, like I said, maybe a little bit too young. Maybe before our brains were finished completing being built, we were maybe reading stuff that we shouldn't have been looking at. But so the story follows the Dollenganger children, the Chris, Kathy, twins Corey and Carrie, and then after their father dies unexpectedly, their mother Corinne takes them to live at this Foxworth Hall place. And her family is extraordinarily wealthy, but they're deeply religious and like strict. And to inherit her dying father's massive fortune, she's got to hide the fact that she has any kids. And that's basically how it starts. So she locks her kids away in a small room connected to like a big attic. And they're subjected to like cruel rules of their grandmother Olivia. And that's kind of there's way more to it than that, but that's kind of the main plot. And what was supposed to be a temporary stay, it stretches into like 3 years almost. And as their mother is slowly abandoning for wealth, the children must rely on each other to survive, and eventually they have to discover a terrifying plot that somebody was trying to poison them.
Oh
and
my
this
goodness.
is kind of so. Yes, at 11 years old, 12 years old, we were walking around
Right.
like that. It really did. I don't know if it. I think there's people who are interested in this kind of thing and have morbid curiosity. Like I said, I was reading John Saul and Stephen King, which was much worse than this.
Doing
Much
that.
worse. So this was nice. This is a nice
Yeah.
sort of thing. It was a different thing because it's all fiction, but it was a different type of genre for me. But I was reading about children, that were, in a cave somewhere that couldn't climb out, and whatever, and going through all kinds of stuff. Like, so I was reading stuff for the children. If anybody's ever read that by John Saul, it's pretty rough. And I was reading Stephen King. I think I was reading things like Carrie and at that time and Salem's Lot and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the book's massive popularity led to a few screen adaptations, right? So in 1987, there was a theatrical release starring Louise Fletcher and Christy Swanson. Now, Christy Swanson has like been in 4 movies. She probably was in a lot more. She eventually became, I believe she became Buffy at some point. But previous to that, she was in a few movies. She'd show up and do like a cameo. One of them being Pretty in Pink. I think one of them being Ferris Bueller, that kind of thing. Anyway, she was in that movie. It altered the book's ending a little bit. It toned down a lot of the most controversial stuff, being that for whatever reason, I'm not really sure. Maybe they wanted the PG rating.
Like the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It is. It is. And you're breaking up a little bit. Again, you're still a little bit broken up there. So I know you're saying it's typical of that. Yeah. I'm not sure if you have to refresh your screen or whatever, but it looks like it might be. But yeah, then there's a Lifetime movie in 2014, and it was a television adaptation, and that was Heather Graham, Ellen Bernstein of The Exorcist, and Kiernan Shipka. And that version stayed a lot closer to the original book text. And so I haven't actually seen, I'm not a Lifetime fan, channel watcher. I haven't seen that. But that looks actually something like that, like something I might go and check out, at some point during the next week, because it sounds interesting. And then there's a prequel miniseries titled Flowers in the Attic: The Origin. This Lifetime story that explores the backstory of the grandmother who was Olivia. The complete book series, if you want to read it in this order. You want to start with Flowers in the Attic. That was a 1979 book. Petals on the Wind, 1980. If There Be Thorns, which is 1981, and Seeds of Yesterday, which is 1984. That's the order you want to read it in. And then Garden of Shadows, which just follows the grandmother and her life, which is the prequel to Flowers in the Attic. So that's the way you want to do it. If you do have an interest in reading a series over the summer, if you're looking for something to throw in your bag when you go to the beach, and you haven't read any V.C. Andrews, this might be interesting. So it was an explosive cultural phenomenon in the 1980s. Like I said, we all had our hands on that book, and we were probably way too young to have it. And it became a real big trend where a lot of women were. I remember in my high school and even my junior high school, this book was being passed from kid to kid to kid to kid. Somebody would read it, then somebody else would be like, "Are you done with it yet? Are you done with it yet?" So somebody would somehow buy it. I'm quite sure some of us, or some of the girls in my classes, they found probably these books in their mother's library, kind of thing, and then read it and snuck it out. And like I said, our parents did not know what we were doing. So if we took that book and started reading it, our parents probably had no clue we had the book. And then we start passing it around and make sure that our parents didn't know it was missing. So that's how it started to become popular. And it's kind of a guilty pleasure sensation, but it was passed around as a I guess it's like maybe like McSweeney would be in the 2000s or something.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but it became just like a nerdy girl trendy thing when I was growing up. So yeah, it was pretty cool. And then I guess it had a forbidden theme to it, or a taboo theme to it.
It was taboo. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it had sibling romance. It had religious zealotry stuff in it. It had possible murder plots in it. It had child abuse in it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of adult content, but it was
very much so
hidden in a way. I don't think a lot of adults knew what was in it. And again, they didn't care, I guess, or something. So it got passed around for probably 10 years before anybody was like, "Hey, why are our kids reading this stuff?" So anyway, yeah, it was pretty cool. I just wanted to bring that up because it had the word flowers in it. But yeah, I thought it was funny. I was talking to somebody about it the other day, and it was kind of this. It's so funny that that it's something that all of us share as Gen X girls.
Right. Reading that.
Right. So anyway, yeah, if you were a Gen X girl, shout out to you, because I'm quite sure you were reading Flowers in the Attic and you remember it well. And it probably put you on this path of reading all kinds of suspensey, dark, culty, gothic-ish kind of stuff. If you were a goth girl in the 80s, maybe, or in the 90s.
Do you find yourself still liking that? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, I always have. Like I said, before this book came out, I was already reading Stephen King. I think I was reading Stephen King in 1977 or 78 or something like that. So this wasn't a book that took me off a path or anything, because I was
already there. Yeah. But I'm thinking,
and I still do. I don't. I still like this
that
kind of
genre.
Thing. I'm going to read fiction. It's definitely horror for me. It's just horror.
Yeah.
So it's John Saul, it's Dean Koontz, and sometimes James Patterson is good. He's more espionage-y, and he's more I can't explain it, but
like kind of suspense.
And Stephen King. Yep. But most of it it's got to have a horror. Even my sci-fi has to have like a horror edge to it, or I don't like it.
Yeah.
If you just show me space, I'm like, whatever. But if you show me space with like things that kill people,
with
like Alien, I'm like, oh, now I'll watch that.
Now we know. Now we know
So
we need to
yeah,
sprinkle a little horror on it
you
in
do.
order to
You
catch it.
do.
But
I
I
don't know
was
why,
thinking,
but I've always loved it. Yeah.
no, but I was thinking like, I'm a millennial, but I know Gen Xers who like, the ID channel and all that, like all
Yeah.
those watching all. So it could just be the pathway, the pipeline to it. You know what I mean? Just
It could
in that
be.
genre.
I feel like this book, for those who were, because I think we were supposed to be reading Judy Blume, and
Yeah.
we were supposed to be reading things like that
Nancy,
as teenage girls, and Nancy
right.
Drew.
Nancy
And
Drew.
those things are cool because you want to know as a young kid, like what particular subject am I interested in, right? So
Correct.
you might like mysteries, right?
Correct.
Or you might like, I would say that whatever Judy Blume is kind of like a self evaluation book. It's an
Yeah.
analyzation
Like a
of who
self-help.
you
Yeah.
are and where
Hmm.
you are in the world and that
Very
kind of thing, which is cool.
introspective and
Yeah, it definitely. But then, this book, I don't know that it changed, but I think it started us on a path very early on of,
yeah.
oh, this is very interesting. And it should be terrible, but I can't put it down.
Right.
And if you remember, we were the generation, the Gen X generation that grew up in the 90s, the early 90s on
Hmm.
all of those true crime really was our
That's what I'm
thing.
saying. Yes.
So
Yeah.
we had A&E, and we had like stuff like City
Yes.
Confidential and American Justice and all that
Yep.
kind of stuff.
That's what
Anyway,
that's what I was thinking. Like it's the pathway, you know what I mean? It's just like usually people who like that
yeah.
or we're going down that road are usually still watching that,
Oh
you know what
yeah.
I mean? As certain TV shows come out. And you were mentioning, I think I was breaking up a little bit, but you were mentioning like being the latchkey kid, you know what I mean? So and
Yeah.
and the parents of Gen Xers, you would think, okay, if my child read a book, it has to be child appropriate content. So why would you think that it
Yeah.
was something that wasn't appropriate? They were working, they were
But
doing whatever.
exactly. And understand, Gen X parents did not have concept of children
No,
appropriate content. They
no,
didn't, it
not at
wasn't even a
all.
thing back then.
It was
It was like, oh, my child is reading. I'm happy with that. My
correct.
child is not bugging me. I'm happy with
I'm
that.
happy about that.
We go do things, whatever. My kids got 3 books. They go, they sit down. I'm not
Yep.
they're screaming at me. I'm happy. They're living. I could see them breathing. They're eating. The very
Right, they're
basics
alive.
for Gen X.
They're alive. Very,
And
very
that's
be
it.
seen and not heard. You know what I mean? Very
And
just sit there, do your
yes.
own thing. So that's an interesting
We
concept.
got into our parents' stuff, and some of it was porn magazines. Some of
Right,
that was the
right.
kind of thing
All
we got
that.
into. Whatever was in the house.
Yeah.
Because our parents weren't home, and they weren't very good at keeping things away from us.
It's
And we were
true.
finding stuff. The liquor cabinet, whatever it was.
Sure. It was all available. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I love it.
How we're all living, I don't know. But
Who
anyway,
knows?
that's another story.
Because I was thinking about that the other day. Like we used to stay out, we used to ride our bikes,
Oh
far
yeah,
away from home, go by the creek, go in the field, go in the, you know what I mean? It was just a different time, it was
it
just
really
that
was.
different time where it's like, I just thought of that the other day. How are we still alive? How didn't someone just come and grab us? You knew to come
Well,
home when the street
actually, a lot
lights,
of us did get grabbed, but back then there was
no,
no
a
way to
lot.
know. We're
Right.
finding a lot of
But
that
we had no
now.
idea, right?
Right.
People's face on the milk cartons. We're like, oh, what's happening? What's going on? But
Yeah.
then maybe I'm like, okay, how didn't all of us get snatched? To come in when the street lights come on, that's the
Right.
signal. You see that thing flickering, to get back home. But before those street lights came on, you could be here, there, and everywhere. The next town over, you go into people's homes. So
Right.
it was,
And I've brought this up before, but we had a PSA that ran every single night, and a bunch of people got involved in it. And it was called "It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?" And the
yeah,
reason
yeah.
that was that way because parents really did not know where
They had
their
no
kids were.
idea.
And we
They,
might have had watches if we were lucky, but like other than
Mhm.
like the sun down and we know it's nighttime, we had no concept of
No concept. There was no
sometimes
there was
how
no
far
Apple
away we
Watch.
were. Yeah,
There was
like none of
no
that.
cell
We couldn't.
phones.
We had like 10 cents to get a payphone if we could find one, and
Or
that was
call
it. So
collect.
like,
You do the call
yes,
collect thing,
yes. We were told to call collect if we had to, and that's cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was such a crazy time. It was like we were just all out in the wild, like the Wild West.
Out in the
Anyway,
wild.
yeah,
And
it
but I
was.
feel like, okay, I'm better for that. Like I feel like we know how to make it work. We know how to overcome and
Yes,
be
we
resilient, and
do.
it built that.
I think we overly protect our children, and that's a whole nother story. But
Oh,
because we
without a doubt.
knew what it was like to not have it. But what I want to do before we go any further is I want to make sure that we get our sponsor, Mace Fitness.
Yes, please.
We want to let our sponsor run here. Here we go.
Not sure what to do at the gym? Overwhelmed by all the equipment? Need videos to make sure you're doing exercises correctly? With the Mace Fitness app's Workout of the Week feature, we take the guesswork out of fitness. Every week, you get a guided workout with step-by-step exercise videos, so you can walk into the gym with confidence. No confusion, no wasted time, just effective workouts designed to help you get stronger and feel better. All for just $9 a month. Download the Mace Fitness app today and start training smarter.
All right, that was a word from our sponsor, Mace Fitness. That's awesome.
There we go. You know, we're talking about the
because I'm getting back into my workouts, and so I'm gonna go there and see what's there. It looks like it's going to be some interesting information.
Definitely, it's a perfect opportunity, and we don't have to wait until January, New Year's resolution. We can start now. And if we're talking about the 80s and 90s, you can wear your 80s maniac, man. You can wear whatever you want. Just get in the gym. You can wear whatever.
Your leg warmers on, right?
Leg warmers, sweatband. Do it. Do it. You got it.
The sweatband. Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
Get your bike shorts on.
Neon, all the neon colors. Do that. No matter what you put on, just get in there and do it. That's awesome.
That was me. So you got a story about us seizing the moment?
Seize the moment. Yes. So I was thinking about flowers. So, we see them in the ground and so forth and so on. But then I'm like, we're also flowers. We're also able to bloom, and we're also a seed and things like that. Sometimes we're in the darkness, and sometimes things are going on and things are happening. So I was saying, seize the moment. Sometimes we wait until something is perfect. We have to wait until we have the perfect amount of this, or when this is ready, but we just have to seize the moment. And sometimes, and what I realized after the pandemic, sometimes some of us are bad seeds. Absolutely. Yes. Some of us are bad seeds. This is true. So be careful of those bad seeds.
Yes.
After the pandemic, I realized that there's never a perfect time to do anything. So many of us, we built the plane while we were flying it. You know what I mean? We had to figure it out, and we had to make it work. So we did. So my encouragement is to seize the moment and to not have to wait until everything is perfect. Seize the moment and get ready to bloom. You're a seed. You might have been in a dark space or in a dark place, but seeds do their best in the dark, and you're ready to sprout and spring up and go forth. And that's the admonition. Seize the moment. You could have been,
I want to write all of the overthinkers and perfectionists out there. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, because I am one. I know.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it'll never be a perfect time. Seize the moment right now. You have the raw materials. Seize the moment and just go forward, right? Follow your intuition. Thank you. When you feel the internal nudge, yes, absolutely. And do something and go with it. And what you realize is you'll just be building it as you're going. That's not to be unprepared. I'm not talking about preparedness.
Right.
Go forward. Oh, I got to wait until this is perfect. We miss our moment. We don't want to miss any more moments. We want to seize them and grab them. If you feel that, I want to write this blog. Especially right now. Look how fast time is going. Look what's happening in our society, in our economy. Seize the moment. You have an idea, right? You have that internal thing. Even now you're thinking of, oh, what's that thing I need to do? Seize it, go do it. And you'll find your community on the way too, right? You're like, I don't have anyone to help me. Just keep walking forward. You'll find your community on the way. You'll find your momentum on the way. Seize the moment. Grab it. Just grab it and go.
Grab it and go, man. Woo! I'm telling you. That's some good inspiration for a Saturday.
Yeah,
I think y'all should go out there this week and you should follow her advice.
Exactly.
You know
do
what
that.
I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yes, definitely.
I saw the comment. I'm sorry. It's like the show heading to the radio. This is our time. We're seizing the moment. We're improving. We're using technology, AI. We're doing this, doing that. We're seizing the moment. We're not waiting until everything is perfect. We're going forward.
Definitely. And speaking of seizing the moment, I think you should find some extra money. You should find some extra change.
Find some extra change and seize this moment.
Go look in your couch cushions. I always keep telling people this
Right.
every week. Somebody, you dropped $1 in there or something. Go find it.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the store and you have like a bill where you have $1.23 left over to round it up, take that money, go here, rhodeislandbroadcasting.net/Uganda-donations, so that you can donate to Uganda and the whole story of Uganda. And we've been talking about it pretty much daily. So
Over
you
and
got to
over.
know.
Yeah.
Come
Mm-hmm.
on now. By now, you
Mm-hmm.
must, if you're a loyal fan of our show, of course, as you should be, then you
Hello.
would know the history of Uganda. But one of our hosts, Becky, she went to Uganda in February at this point. And she was there for like, I think 2.5 weeks, I believe.
Mm.
And on our website, if you go there, there's a whole page for Uganda and it'll explain the situation. But what we're trying to do is raise some money to build a roof for a school that's out there, so that some children can have an education without having this ridiculously hot sun beating down on them, which is not good for their health. And for some other things, but for $1 here or $1 there for us, which we wouldn't even miss, it goes such a long way for them.
It stretches.
And any amount of money that you want to, donate, any amount of money that you can donate is going to go, like, it's 100 times over going to be better for them as far as. So we've raised quite a bit so far. I mean, we've got a goal on this. But yeah, go there, check it out. You'll see Becky's story, because Becky's story is on that page. Some of the pictures from Uganda and some of the story behind the scenes. And then we've got Chuck, who's our, one of our hosts, who's going to go out there not only to help build a roof, but to actually teach.
Yes.
Which is another thing, how can it be done, and how can it be done economically and structurally correct and things like that, right? So long after we leave, that they've got the skills to be able to do what they need to do, right? And yes,
Yeah.
season 3, episode 51, in our wherever it is that you watch us, right, which may be probably on YouTube or whatever, it is story time. That's the actual episode that you would want to watch for all of the information. So go there, check that story out. But I think it's linked in that page anyway, so all of the information is there. Check it out. And we've got a book that we're putting out at some point. We're just waiting for illustrations for this children's book, and that the proceeds from that book are going to go to Uganda as well. So this is a mission. We're working on it, trying to do what we can. And so far, you guys have been pretty generous. But hey, anything you could do this week, $1. If you can find $1 this week, you won't even notice the difference. However, and I know times are rough, but do it, because it's much worse in Uganda, and they actually need the money. So I am going to, let's see, where are we going from here? Possible host promos. Oh, this is going to be, we're doing a schedule that's a little bit moved around from what we're used to doing. I actually have a show a podcast that's coming up, and we finally got our first episode in the can last night. We've not edited it, but
Awesome.
It is done and in post-production. And that's going to be an actual, the name of the podcast is going to be Life's Melody. That's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a station. My buddy Will and I, and what we talk about is mostly nostalgic stuff. So it's going to be old sitcoms, old, music from the 80s. It's going to be very Gen X based. Not that we're going to just be doing that, but that's going to be kind of the most of it.
Yeah.
Movies from what we were growing up, and just things that we were dealing with as kids growing up that we are looking back on. So again, I'm not going to drink champagne yet. We made a joke about that last night, but we're not going to do that yet, because he still got to review what we did, and he's editing. But anyway, that's that. I'm not sure. Other than that, you can find me on Facebook. You're probably watching me there now, or that's my TikTok page underneath me there, or my YouTube. But like I said, we're going to get all that other stuff together, and I'm going to just let you know from that's where we're at. So Lilac, what's your information?
Yeah, so I have a podcast. We took a break. Just life happened. People were in school, marriage, children. It's called More Than a Hashtag. And it's called Healing is More Than a Hashtag. It's talking about how sometimes healing is made to look very pretty in society on social media, but we talk about the real process and and just going through everything. So that can be found on Facebook, YouTube, and anywhere you
I
can
love it.
listen to podcasts. Also, I like to be on a lot of podcasts, so you can find me at Lilac Calandra on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And if you need someone to, motivational speak about mental health things, life coaching, all that, please
Mhm.
contact me. I'd love to be a guest on your podcast. So yeah, that's you can find me. I would love to connect, love to talk. I'm usually posting pretty inspirational things, some pretty things about all type of occurrences, situations, happenings. So I'd love to connect. And again, if you want to
Oh,
book me,
maybe
book
we'll
me.
have you on.
Please,
You know?
I love to be on people's podcasts almost as much as I love to have my own. I love it. I love the connection. I love the conversation. I love just chatting
That's
and
awesome.
speaking. You learn so much about other people. The conversation just ends up being so rich and good. So yeah,
Yeah.
please book
We
me.
need
Book
more of that.
Lilac.
We need more connection in the society. We do.
Yeah, yeah.
We do.
I'd love to.
So that's awesome. That's where you can find us. And
Yes.
going on from here, we've got something called Odd News. So this is just some stuff I saw this week that I
Okay.
found interesting. And you may have, if you're watching, you may have already seen this stuff, but I just found it interesting because it's within the past week, right? So on Wednesday, which is the 27th of May, a South Carolina woman was dining at a restaurant with her husband and killed by a flying umbrella. I don't know if you've seen this story.
Oh, what?
She was a flying umbrella. So these umbrellas that are like on these tables, they when you go outside and eat, you're just
Oh,
sitting there eating,
yes,
and they've got
yes,
the
yes,
umbrellas
yes.
that are like
Like the
kind of,
sun umbrella. Yes. Okay.
yep.
hmm
Wind blew one out of like this is one of those you just never know
This is
what
Final
you're gonna have.
Destination.
It really is Final Destination.
Oh
And
no.
I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. I just think it's so weird that this would happen. So anyway, Driftwood Grill in Somerton. This is in South Carolina.
Mm.
Around 7:40 p.m. She was Dana Winger, and she was unresponsive with a laceration wound. This is the Clarendon County Coroner's Office. That's what they found. And she was eating with her husband with a gust of wind blew the umbrella from a table nearby, and the umbrella hit her in the head and the neck, and killed her. Like that's just so. You never know. Is all I'm saying. I'm not going to get into it, but there was also another story where a woman got out of a car in New York City and just fell into a manhole. It was just uncovered. And
What?
she got out of the car and fell straight into it. She wouldn't even have seen it coming
Right.
because,
About
so it's kind of like, and it killed her. So it's kind of like, sudden severe weather is what they were calling it on Friday night last, I guess for whatever
it caused the
reason.
wind to blow.
Right. So I don't know. But anyway, this is what happened from Wednesday, I believe. Let's see. I'm thinking the way that the story article shows it's that she was killed on Wednesday. I believe though that the coroner did his report on Wednesday, and it looks like past the Friday before maybe
Okay.
is when this happened, and that was when the severe weather hit. But anyway,
Goodness.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. You just never know. You can't prevent some of these things, right?
You
It's
can't.
deeply right. What was that?
No, I said you can't. What can you do to prevent being hit from a flying umbrella?
No, like there's no way. Yeah,
Nice, 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 nice.
exactly.
And I also saw someone said it was it was 1,000 ways to die. Very
Yeah,
much so. I used to watch that show. I used to binge watch that show. Very much so would fit right in there.
yeah, absolutely. I'm quite sure they probably. I don't know if the show's still running, but they probably did it.
No, it's not.
Oh
No.
no, okay. But anyway, I'm gonna say this would be good for that if it was still around. They probably did a show
Yeah.
on it. But yeah, it's deeply affected the people in the community, including guest staff, first responders, everybody involved, and out of respect for the family and those impacted, they are asking for continued prayers and compassion during this incredibly difficult time. Imagine go out to eat with your wife, you come home without a wife. That's it.
My goodness.
We are grateful for the emergency personnel and community members who responded and assisting during the situation. So that's that. The other odd story I have here is one armed woman getting a traffic ticket. I don't know if you've seen this.
I love
Around.
that video. And the cop was so cocky.
Yeah, there's a thing called it's a doubling down thing that's just odd to me.
He tripled
my friends
down.
and I, we analyze it a lot where somebody's just looking straight at stuff that's not true and just refuse to back down on it, right? So yeah, it looks like at this point she just got her case was dismissed. That's why this is coming up. This happened a while back. And when the case goes to court, then stuff like the video gets released and things like that. So
The
that's why you're
body
seeing it
cam.
now.
Hmm.
Right. A body cam of the cop that pulled her over. But months after a woman in Florida was pulled over and cited for allegedly driving while holding a phone in her missing right hand, the traffic citation has been dismissed, right? The traffic stop went viral after Katie Thomas. She was the woman who was cited in the incident. She posted video of the stop on social media. So she got the footage, and I guess she posted it. I don't think like I said, it's been going crazy this week, and everybody's seen it. Body camera footage from the February traffic stop obtained by ABC News shows a Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputy pulling over Thomas. You drove past me holding the phone in your right hand, manipulating your phone. And the deputy says this in the video to her, and she holds up her right arm, revealing that she doesn't have a right hand.
She's like, so do you want to just move on? Or like, do you want to just let this go?
She goes,
or?
obviously, I was not doing that.
She was like,
she then adds, yeah, so you want to call us a day? So
yeah, exactly.
Says, he thought he saw her holding the phone on her right hand, right? And despite her denying it, she was still given a $116 traffic ticket or a citation for texting while driving.
Ridiculous.
Like, what, right? What is wrong? Like, why can't you look at that and be like, oh, oops, I must have looked at that wrong.
Have a great day.
I was looking at the car before you, whatever it was, right? So they indicate the citation was dismissed this past Tuesday at the request of the sheriff's office for insufficient evidence, which is pretty literal, but also true. So
I would sue.
There you go.
I would sue.
Isn't that crazy?
With all of my hands, I would sue.
I'm wondering if she did. I mean, it definitely got dismissed, but I don't know. I wonder if she did sue, or she's probably going to. I'm sure some lawyers have contacted her.
Because she has a great case. It's all documented. And I don't know why he didn't just move on. She held up, like, she just has like the wrist part, and she's like, so you want to call this a day? Oh no, I saw you. What, sir? Like, you couldn't have seen it. You were incorrect. You were wrong. Just move on. Have a great day. Go. And
I don't know if something kicks in, like shame or something like that.
It is.
Like, I'm just not going to tell this person. I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to say I was wrong, because I'll go to my grave not being
correct.
Not accountability for what I did. I don't understand that, especially when we're paying you for your job as a public servant.
It's true. So you wasted our tax dollars and you wasted our money on this. These aren't resources that you had to use. And to me, it's just pride. You're so proud that you can't say, oh, I apologize, I was wrong. The body cam footage would have never been released. You could have went on about your day. I'm sure the way that social media goes now, people are sending him all type of messages and doxing him and all that. You know how people get now.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, sir, you could have saved your time. You could have saved your energy on all of that.
Time.
Yeah, everybody's time and resources.
Guy's a deputy, right? So he's not he's not pushing papers. He's not like a newbie. He's not a rookie, which is even more interesting, But anyway.
So let's not be proud. Let's not double. He tripled down. There's a double down, then there's a triple down. He tripled down. Yeah. She does not have a right hand. How could she have been holding it? You're wrong, and just let it go.
I don't know. But anyway, those are some things that have been coming up this week. So I thought I'd bring them up because they were kind of interesting. But so we are at this point running into our next topic, which is Canada, isn't it? So tomorrow we've got Kenny and Ron. Look at these two down here in the
Park
corner.
Rangers. Yeah. Woo.
Are they gonna? Maybe they'll be dressed like this tomorrow. I don't know. We're being told that we are not getting all the details. It's mystery.
It looks
tomorrow,
very Canadian.
Kenny and Ron will be doing some interesting things, and you have to tune in to find out what it is.
Very, themed.
It
looks very
themed. Mounty. I don't know if they're gonna have like horses.
Maybe you have to
tomorrow.
You have to tune in to see. Maybe they could
on horseback. I don't know.
They could come in on horseback. Who knows?
Yeah, it's crazy. But we've got Canada Week coming up this week. So that is our next episode. Tune in tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, with Kenny and Ron, and see what it is, the hijinks that is going to be going on.
Oh, it's going to be It's gonna be a
Yeah.
time, you know, a time,
Hey,
time,
hey.
you know.
So yeah, that's what's going on. It's been fun to hang out with Lilac today and
Yeah.
discuss flowers in one way or another.
Yes, it was
And
flowery.
everybody, go get your VC Andrews books. Go get them, right? And we got to thank WDJY, which is where you're hearing this right now.
Yes,
Thank you for Mace Fitness for coming along and sponsoring our show. And we
absolutely.
hope to see you soon, Lilac. I will see you, I think, in 2 weeks or so. But I'll be talking to you.
Yeah. Well,
I gotta get back to you on this flower research I'm doing.
please, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the update. Please, please, please. And I just want to encourage everyone to continue to bloom and to intentionally put money aside for Uganda. You know what I mean? Make that intentional. Like
Yes, definitely,
seize that moment. We have a moment, we have an
absolutely.
opportunity, you know, as high and expensive as things are in America, it is so much worse in Uganda. And with the
I know.
Ebola outbreak, like we can help.
I know. I
Yeah,
know. That's like
we can
another
do it.
thing.
So seize the moment and bloom
I
and
don't
do all that
know.
and be flowery and flower power and all
Uh,
that. And
my bingo card is full of stuff that I did not see coming. Like
right,
I'm
right,
telling
right.
you.
Exactly.
But yeah, that'll be that. Do that, right? Do that. Go get your VC Andrews books so you can read stuff on the beach
Yes.
and get your coffee. Go out and enjoy your Saturday, and make sure you
Enjoy.
stay with us every day because we got it going on daily. We'll see you
Going
guys
on
soon.
daily.
Woohoo!
Awesome.